Hello everyone. Let me today introduce to you communications in general. Now communications to many of us, and especially to me when people have asked over years and having taught them, they've posed different questions. But in general it remains one: how is it that I communicate better? That more or less summarizes their entire the question process, the thought process, many doubts that they have. Now I've also seen and observed that the same people get confused with the fact that speaking in English is same as communicating, which is not correct. And there lies the basic difference of the thought process of what you're trying to rectify or what you're trying to change within yourself. English is very different, is a language. However, communication is a form of expressing that language. So it's perfectly possible that you might not know English, but still you might be great at communication. Now, just to simplify things, if my native language is Hindi or my mother tongue is Hindi, I might not be aware of English as a language, or I might not be speaking English, even a normal English, but I might still be great at communicating in whatever I am doing so. Now, that remains one of the larger differences, and there starts the story. It is wrong for people to expect that I will speak French as normally as a French would do, and it would also be wrong to expect a French person to be expected that he or she would speak Hindi as normally as an Indian. Now, because that remains the local language to both of them. So what we think, and I've come across this question from so many of them, what we think has to be clear, because once we have a clarity, then it allows you to work in that specific direction. So there is a very basic module that I've followed over years now, and there's no science about it. Let me share it with full confidence that I've done it over years with many of my students. Now what happens is, whatever we speak, it's a byproduct of what we think. Now what goes in the thought, it has evolved over years as a part of our subconscious and as a part of our belief system. So primarily what we believe is what we think or how we think, and thus we speak about it. Now what we believe is a little core inside of ours which we on a day-to-day basis don't question, but it keeps evolving, is dynamic, and over a few years of time it has actually been set up inside us. So let's say that core is formed by the fact that how and where you've grown up, how the society has treated you at large, your friends, your family, your close by circle, and the people who have influenced you. Now for all of them, their ideas, their expressions, their thought, and of course with an amalgamation of the same of yours, you have formed something which is your belief system. Now this belief system allows you to think and explore and do many activities, and during this process you speak out certain things. Now what also happens as a human system, we don't tend to go back and question our belief system. Over a period of time we think that this belief system, what we've acquired and achieved, is the best. It's not a very conscious exercise for us to question this belief system. Now when this happens, then it gets a little tricky, because your belief system has not questioned any specific process or thought, so you will tend to think only in a certain rational, irrational is something subject to debate, but only in a specific way. There are many people who in basic interviews don't feel confident. Now when you ask them the reason, while they would give you multiple reasons, but the core of it remains that they feel that the person who is interviewing them are superior in different capacities. Be it position, be it by virtue of that person being the CEO or the HR director. Now all these facets, while they sound very simple, but they are not. Because over a period of time, we have entrusted ourselves and our belief system to accept that the person who is across the table interviewing you is correct, is right in all terms and conditions, and is superior to you. Now when you believe in this, your thought is already governed, and thus whatever answer comes out during an interview, you can imagine in terms of what's the thought process going on right now. So there are multiple examples of these kind that I can take, and I have come across with people which needs to be tweaked, and tweaked for better. Now when I say tweaked, it's not me who does it, but I do share them a little thought of why they should be tweaking it and what for. Until unless you deep dive into your belief system, you will not be able to change certain thought processes. And if you will not be able to change your thought process, what you keep speaking will remain constant and nothing will change. I'll give you a little glimpse of all this in my next session. Till then, thank you very much. Good day.